Hey guys, welcome to another podcast from the Three Bios. If you are on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. If you are on Spotify, don't forget to enjoy it and give us a 5-star rating. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Hey guys, this is Alex from the Three Bios, and I am doing my personal own video simply because of the Manchester United result today against Tottenham, but also because of last week with Wolves as well. And I think it's just time to have a little chat about Erik Ten Hag and what he is about and what he's not about and why it's not working at Manchester United. So let's start with last week's game at Wolves. We got played off the park last week against Wolves. We haven't really spoke about it on here much. We've done a lot of other things, but we haven't really spoke about the game much. I spoke to obviously the boys quite a lot about it, and I have backed Ten Hag constantly. You can ask no. I have backed him. I've defended him on every single level. Last week we got absolutely played off the park by a team that Brighton made look average today, right? They made him look average, they made him look weak. And yet again, if they had a striker, I think the same result would have happened today, like Spurs done to us. Defensively, looking very, very weak we are. Whether that's the midfield, or the centre backs, or the wingers, whatever it is, we look very, very weak. Very, very poor throughout the game again today as well. Last week's issue, the middle of the park, Casemiro got absolutely dominated, wiped the floor with. That's a big issue for Manchester United when your holding midfielder is getting absolutely run over by, I don't mean to be offensive, but they're average players. They're average players at best, and that's not good. No midfielder should be run over like they did last week. Nobody. And I think you've got a question now, is it past his time? Is it time for Casemiro to step back and let someone else come to the forefront? Because at the moment, I don't think he's good enough by himself in that midfield. Personally, the way I look at it, you've got to play someone else next to Casemiro who can do it. Like an Amrabat, for instance, right? Mount and Bruno do not work well together in this midfield. They do not work. It's simple. They're too similar. They do not work. I have backed Ten Hag. I have backed everything he's done, but that was probably our worst signing of this summer, and that's probably Ten Hag's worst signing, and he's some questionable ones he signed. Why would you sign Mount? Why would you sign Mount knowing that you need a number 6? You need another defensive midfielder, knowing that Casemiro, what's he, 32? You need someone next to him. Last season he struggled with red cards. You could see his pace was going then, right? You could see his reading of the game is still fantastic, right? You're never going to take that away from him. But his pace wasn't there. It's too many red cards, right? Too many yellow cards picked up. He had 2-3 suspensions last season. You need someone to replace him. And you go ahead and sign a number, I see Mount as a number 10, to play a number 8 role. It's not working. Not working. Wrong signings, poor decisions from the man in charge. And at the end of the day, this was a Ten Hag signing. You can't blame this on the board, unfortunately. I have said, look, trust him. He knows what he's doing. I don't think he does. It's got to the point now where I think it's a bit misjudged. And I think it's time for him to step back, personally. I think a change is needed. Get it done sooner, faster. And I'll go into it again. This week, the same lineup. And Nori asked a question to me. He said, why would you not make a statement? And I didn't have an answer for him. I do not know. I do not know why he picked the exact same lineup as last week. Absolute disgrace. You need to make a statement, right? Starting Garnacho after he played very poorly. Okay, fair enough. All right, whatever. Make a decision. But to play Anthony, to play Mount, to play Bruno as well, you've got to give some leeway. You've got to make decisions. Personally, I would have started with this lineup. I would have gone Martial for the middle, Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right. I would have probably kept Bruno. I would have dropped Mount, and I would put Scott McTominay next to him. At least you know with Scott McTominay, you're going to get the tracking runners. You're going to get that midfield balance correct. and there's a better balance in that midfield. Again, today in the first half, I think we got lucky. We matched them. I think we played okay. I thought Mount did pretty alright in the first half, to be fair. I think we missed 2 vital opportunities, 2 headers. And I think if we scored them, I don't think it would have changed the game, if I'm really honest. The second half, we were absolutely terrible. Terrible. We looked like we came out still sleeping. Like they just had like sleeping pills in the fucking in the changing room. Absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace of a second half. We need that killer instinct up front, right? And this is where it goes back to Ten Hag again. You have got rid of Ronaldo. You got rid of Weghorst. You didn't keep him, right? Whatever. I wasn't a big fan of Weghorst. Stupid signing. Not a Manchester United player, right? Anyway, let's not go into that. You don't replace Cavani. So that's 3 strikers that have gone in and out of this club. And the first signing you do is Mount and a keeper. Wait, what? You paid 60 million for Mount. Harry Kane was, what, let's say 100 million, I think it was in total, right? Why didn't you just pay the extra 40 million? Get that striker in you desperately need. Right? It's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Right? We don't need a Mount replacement. You need a number 6, a Casemiro replacement. Go and get Amrabat. Go and get Gravenberch. Whoever. Go and get them. You know what I mean? You could even argue of going to get Casino. Go and get him. 100 million. It's only an extra 40 million more than what you're paying for Mason Mount. And he's been absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolute shocking. For the goals, people blaming Wan-Bissaka. I don't know what game you're fucking watching, guys. Alright, he's not the best at the back post, but the first goal, he's tracking Son. He's doing everything right. The midfield runner was not being tracked by either Casemiro or Mount. One of them 2 needs to take responsibility for tracking that runner into that box, right? Alright, bit of a deflection, but lucky. But if he's being tracked, it's not lucky, because you're there. You're tracking him. Absolute shambles in the midfield, yet again, in the second half. Rashford as a number 9 does not work. It didn't work last season. It never has worked. He's not a number 9. Put him on the left wing. That's where he scores all his goals. He's fantastic. He is not a number 9. You got Martial on the bench. When he came on, absolutely brilliant. He held the ball, brought people into play. He's a number 9. Use him. Use him. Absolute shambles. Casemiro, look, he's trying to do it all by himself in that mid of the park, and he's not good enough. Not good enough anymore. And to be fair, I don't think one man can do that job. You need to get more players like him. You need to replace him. He's getting old. He can't do it. He hasn't got the legs. He's got the intelligence. He knows what he needs to do, and he will always give away fouls because he knows he can get there. But his legs won't get him there. Right? You need to replace him. His turning pace, his recovery pace, everything is gone. Needs to be replaced. Absolute world-class player. Got a lot of respect for him. But when it's your time, it's your time. You just need to just step back. He'll play perfect next to an Amrabat, personally. But hey, you know what I mean? Let's go and sign Mount for 60 million instead. Martinez, absolutely terrible. Maybe terrible, he wasn't great, right? Okay, really, really poor at the back. Looks shaky. Looks like half of these players look like they've never been on preseason. They look absolute terrible. Absolutely shocking. Martinez, not great. Very poor defensively. Continues defender. Looked very shaky. Some of the challenges, like personally, I think he could have given away a pen earlier in the box as well. Look, he looks very clumsy at the moment, and that's not the Martinez we saw last season. Luke Shaw, terrible. Right, what happened on that first goal? He on the left hand side coming down. Garnacho's not there. Shaw's not there. What's going on? Where's the communication? What's Shaw doing? Playing literally holding hands, singing merry-go-rounds with fucking Martinez. What's going on? Like, something needs to be changed in this defense because it's not working, right? Whether it's the system, whether the players are not intelligent, but personally, it's the management. The tactics are not correct. It needs to be changed. It's not good enough. Absolute terrible. Luke Shaw needs to be dropped next game. Personally, Mount needs to be dropped. Anthony, let's not get started on Anthony. Fucking hell. Wish the guy would just hold the ball for 3 seconds instead of flicking it around, flicking it everywhere. Fucking is the easiest person to mark in the world. All you got to do, get close to him. He'll try to flick around. You'll bump into him. Oh, you've won the ball. Gone out for a throw-in. He's the easiest player in the fucking world to defend. Absolute shambles. 80 million, mind. 80 million. Look, absolutely terrible. Needs to be sorted out. Players need to be dropped and held accountable for. If next week I'm seeing the exact same side as this, there needs to be answers because it should never be happening. Talking of substitutions, the subs he made were absolutely terrible. So in the 65th minute, I think it was, maybe around by there, somewhere like that, 65th, 68th, he brings on Sancho, brings on Eriksen, right? And obviously Delo. Okay, I understand the Delo one. Bit more attacking threat, like for like player. I understand that one. I got no qualms with that, okay? But you move Bruno to the right. So Sancho goes on the left, move Bruno to the right, still playing Rashford in the middle, even though that's not his position, right? You play Mount as a number 10 and Eriksen then. What? What's this manager doing? Never have we ever succeeded when Bruno's on that right-hand side. The only reason I think he does it is because he needs to keep his captain on the pitch and he wants a bit more midfield of a balance where he can slot into the midfield and try and take control. It did not work. In fact, I think it made it weaker. I think it made the midfield a lot weaker. It never worked and never looked like working in this game. Absolute shambles, okay? He made the changes then in the 85th minute, right? He brought on Palestri and then he brought on Martial, right? So he brought them 2 players on. So he re-brings the winger back on in the 85th minute, mind, okay? I know we love added time, right? Even if it's 10 minutes. That's fuck all, 15 minutes, right? Terrible. I think it was like 8 minutes added on anyway, right? So you've basically admitted you made the mistake by making that substitution. You're like, oh, fuck. I fucked up here. I should have brought on this. They're the substitutions you should have made in the 65th minute or the 60th minute. You should have brought, personally, I would have put Sancho on the right, Martial through the middle, and then Rashford on the left. Bruno as number 10, and Mount should have gone off, right? But no, of course not. Why would you do that, right? You'd make some stupid decision to put a midfield number 10 on a wing. Didn't work. You wasted, 20 minutes of the game? Maybe more? In doing that, absolutely terrible managerial decision. And again, he's not learned from his mistakes, Ten Hag, because he done this last season and it failed every single time. So I don't get why he keeps on doing it. We need answers from that because I can't tell you. I don't think many other Man United fans can tell you. Ten Hag needs to go. Like, the football hasn't changed in a year. The tactics are still the same. We're still playing long ball, kick it up top, chase after it, see if we can get Rashford through. You know what I mean? We're still doing the exact same. All right, a bit better. Yeah, we're playing a bit better, but we're still doing the exact same thing under Ollie. There's no difference whatsoever. The tactics are poor, the signings are poor, the substitutions are poor. His game management is not that good, Ten Hag. All right? Okay, the bench is not the strongest, but when you've got a striker on the bench, a right winger on the bench, 2 right wingers, and you refuse to put any of them on the right wing, why? We need to know why. We need clarity, okay? We needed a CDM, we got Mount. Absolute shambles. Look, we needed a striker, we got a 19-year-old kid. Okay, brilliant, right? Whatever. If he's going to be one of the best strikers about, fantastic. But if he's not, he's another failure yet again to Manchester United. Get Harry Kane for an extra 40 million. Don't sign Mount. Simple. For me, Ten Hag needs to go. We need some questions in this. Look, you got a arguably one of the best tactical managers in the world out there right now in the Gelsman. Go and get him. Go and get him. Give him 2 weeks of the window. See what he can do with the squad. Give him a year. Give him everything he needs in the next 2. Get him out now, Ten Hag. Bring in the Gelsman. Give him 2 weeks of the transfer window. Give him a CDM. Give him a striker. And work from there. Because I think the Gelsman could do it. Ten Hag hasn't got the tactical ability, I don't think. And I have backed him. You can ask anyone. I have backed Ten Hag to the core. But now today, that's it for me. So guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Much love. Peace.